Hello everyone, my name is Antazil and today we'll be playing as Italy again. Well, there's been a lot of Italy videos already, but I put a poll out and everyone just wanted more Italy. So, well, let's do that. What I'm going to show you today is what I think is the strongest opening for Italy. It's a modification of my old strategy where I joined the Axis and invaded Hull in the United Kingdom. That still works in certain circumstances. You then can generate war goals. You can also just go after the Benelux and France. All in all, it sets you up for pretty much whatever. The beauty is you can do this strategy without doing any of the political openings, so you can do that later. Now, ideally, you want to combine this strategy with a 70-day victory in Ethiopia. Remember, if Ethiopia is allowed to go for the emperor boards the train, here it is, then you will never be at peace officially. You can annex Ethiopia, but the emperor will keep the war going or something like that. So you need to win in 70 days. You can, however, bypass that. Since Bittersteel already showed in his video how to win this war in 70 days, spoiler warning, it has something to do with massive attack and snaking around to the victory points over here in the east. That's fine. If you can do that, that's great. I'm just going to show you the easy way out, just to have it on video, which means we'll be abandoning Ethiopia, signing a white peace, and then going through a different path in the focus tree. Since we will not be at war then, we will then be able to join the Axis and use their port over here, Hanover, and invade the UK. That sets us up just nicely for a world conquest, a major conquest, whatever. In a sequel video, I will use that setup period, that setup to form a democratic Mare Nostrum, or the Roman Republic, which is accessible on this side here, but this involves a civil war. Or you can go here, all the way over here to the Monarchia d'Italia, and then not do power of the king, but go through the Christian democracy path. That also leads all the way to Mare Nostrum. Right, that's enough talking. Let's get things set up. We'll start with a early war setup here, so with support weapons 1, interwar artillery for the passive bonuses, and head straight for radio here, so electronic engineering, and we'll get machine tools to keep some less semblance of production going. We'll start with military factories all the way, and the military factories we have, we will set up as follows. Here we are, 3 on anti-air, 4 on artillery. These are new production queues. A lot on infantry equipment, 3 on support equipment, and 2 on trucks. I deleted the plane productions, we'll pick that up later. These factories are future factories, but we will go for, where is it, army primacy, which will give us a few factories. Here we are, 2 military factories. That will take care of that anti-air. As for the ships, just finished the big ships that are almost finished. These guys will take far too long. Put these guys at the bottom. And then finish off the rest. Once this is finished, and that will take long enough, just get more submarines out there. We have some occupation problems, just set occupation to high priority and local police force, and eventually that will solve itself. And let's now take care of Ethiopia. We have a bunch of troops here, just railroad these to the port here. These guys can probably just go over here. This is slightly trickier. We need to get to this port at Massawa, so just move everyone in that direction manually. You will get attacked, so you'll need to watch this a little. Don't bother with the Air Force. Oh yeah, before I forget, we will also create an intelligence agency. And here we are, just get everyone to Asmara. Right, just right click on the ports to get everyone out. And we are leaving these shores. 15 political power, and we can withdraw from Ethiopia. That offers a peace deal to the Ethiopians, which they will accept. They accept the peace offer, and you get a choice between we need a change of leadership or a staggering failure. Basically, that's choosing between 2 options. Of course, we cannot do solid progress, but it's either the Abyssinian fiasco or struggle in Ethiopia. Now, if you want to do the communist achievement or the democratic path with a civil war, that's this side here, and that's a change of leadership. So we'll do the other one, a staggering failure. That completes the struggle in Ethiopia and bypasses these two, and you will be later able to convene the Great Grand Council. You can even do that now, except I don't see a reason to. We'll continue preparing our armies a little. Ethiopian war logistics bypasses and the humiliation in Africa. It's fine, really. Now there's these territories here, just release them as puppets. Eritrea, Kingdom of Libya, yeah, no, I'll keep them, but the Sultanate will be released as well. Let's talk about the balance of power for a moment. If you are playing as the Grande Duce or anyone, you will have this balance of power mechanic, and if it shifts too hard into the direction of the Grand Council, you will be deposed as Mussolini and get a civil war. Now that happens when you lose territories, not just core territories, but also the colonial territories. That's why it's interesting to get rid of Ethiopia through puppeting, so you can't lose territories there. I will have to protect Libya. I could release them, but there are some focuses that gives me oil there, and it's just nice to have. So I'll keep them around. Now, if you win the civil war in 70 days, let's have a look here, then you get through solid progress, and you have to manually do these focuses. They give you stuff, so it's good to have, and the balance of power mechanic only starts when you finish Triumph in Africa. So that means you can keep Mussolini for all those wars that I'm going to start with the United Kingdom and France, and not worry about all your territories, because the balance of power mechanic hasn't started yet if you go through the center path. This time I showed you the easy way out, so we'll have to watch our colonies just a little bit. Alright, I'm going to set up this mess of an army as follows. Alright, the infantry, mountaineers and cavalry I'll put in the Austrian border and set an attack order. The 19 other divisions I'll put on a defensive line here on the French border. There will be 3 tank divisions, and I'll put them here in Venice. I'll deal with them later, probably rearrange the template into motorized, and I will train 12 additional colonial divisions to protect Libya. That's it for now. We have to wait until 50 political power before we justify a war goal on Austria. And let's also exercise the Air Force. Army primacy is done. Now you could go through the political path already, but I want to prepare a few other focuses. You start with some nasty army debuffs, navy debuffs and air debuffs, and you can get rid of some of it by doing Super Esercito, Super Aerero and Super Marina. And you can only do those focuses while at war with a major. So I'm going to set up being able to do those focuses when I fight Britain and France. So I'm going to do Bandits War, Air Innovations, expand Rome Flying School, naval power projection, and expand naval facilities. Have you been keeping notes? Well, I'll show you anyway. A Bandits War. For the intelligence agency, I recommend getting Invisible Ink, Naval Department, and localized training centers to get a British spy and infiltrate the UK Navy. Here we are, 47 political power, I believe. And we'll justify a war goal on Austria. We'll also join the German faction, the Axis, and we'll set up our navy just to gather all these guys up into one big fleet. Press G to merge them, and once they've merged, split off all these submarines. I like to give them this bold commander here. And all the other guys can go under the, this one will do, and press the distribute button. Now all the navies can now be parked at the port here beneath Hamburg. It's nice, it's called Hanover, and Hanover is all the way over here, but it's the same industrial area, I think. Electronic engineering is done, and we'll get radio. And do keep in mind that we'll need to justify for the UK on 70 political power. A bandits war is done and we'll do air innovations and then expand Rome Flying School. Here we are, 70 political power, and we'll justify for Singapore. Support weapons and inter-artillery are done. I'll put one on construction now and the other on recon companies. We didn't have those yet. There goes the Spanish Civil War. If you're going for a perfect game, you can always send volunteers here. Rome Flying School is done. Città dell'Aria is next. First batch of 150 political power is coming in. There's many choices to be made here. Keep in mind that there is a silent workhorse here who's a very good choice to start with, but he can only be used for fascist parties. So if you're going for an alternative history, he's probably not that useful. I'm going for war economy. Città dell'Aria is done. So now Super Esercito and Super Aerero are ready to go, and we'll use these two to complete our preparations. I'm going to dedicate one research slot to upgrading all these guns for my ships, and then the damage control and fire control. Justification for Austria is done. I'll set the Air Force to support us here. And we'll declare war immediately and set the army to go. The motorized will just micro a bit with. And that's Austria. Select all, submit demands, confirm and exit. Glorious victory. I will put the guys over here at the Hamburg-Hannover port and start planning our naval invasions. I like to use the regular infantry in teams of 2 and attack just below Hull and the 4 tiles above it. It should look like something like this. Now the navies are here and they're ready. We'll set them up just before the war goal finishes. And let's continue with all our research. Alright, all of these beautiful focuses are now ready to precede us here. And now I want to go for the extra research slot. Italian highways, railway innovations, investments in Edison, and expand national universities. Don't forget to put the Air Force, now in the Alps, over here at the airport in Kiel. You can set naval invasion support, or what is it, naval strike, and just do the north and northeastern sea zones. Get some extra air power out there. I'm going to hold off on a focus for now, so I can do the special focuses I can only do while at war with a major, and I'm almost at war with a major. 5 days to go. Let's put the fleet out. Naval invasion support, even though that's expensive, and convoy raiding for the subs. Activate the order. And here we go, just declare on the UK and get this over with. That will require and allow us to go to Super Esercito right away. Take the speed a bit down and let's go. Oh yeah, now that we are at war with the Brits, we can also get a cheap war goal on the Dutch. Well, we have defended ports. That's only good if I can show that on the video. Take these 2 units, put one on the tile next to Hull and let the other attack into the port. You can do the same with these 2 guys. We need to surround that port, then you get an encirclement bonus. And these 2 guys can just support the attack here on Hull. It's vital you get that port early. And these guys can just take this airport here and airport here. We can support this attack, but it's not really a priority. This airport, however, is. Here we are. Now that we have it, put this unit on a conquering spree and take all the air force here, set them on the support missions and over northern England. And suddenly things are looking better. And here are the boys. That means we can ship over the entire air force. No. You get back over here. Liverpool surrounded, just kill the units. Now in my old guides for Italy or many other nations, you would ideally surround London and conquer the rest of the UK to get cheaper war goals. And then conquer the rest. Two problems with that. Surrounding London will eventually capitulate the UK if you cross this line or something. There's just not that many victory points in London anymore. Second, occupying all that territory will skyrocket your resistance and drain your reserves. You need to puppet the UK at some point. Might as well do it quickly. Just get entire Western Europe and then go after the USA. Now I am going to surround London, but that has to do with me wanting to get at least the war goal against Belgium. So I don't want to capitulate these guys too quickly. Now here's the justification for Brabant. And we will go and get Wallonia. So let's grab London then, shall we? And get the rest as well. That's London. Is that the end? Not yet, but we are close to more victory points. Now here you can see that we are actually losing a territory, Sardinia, where is that? It's over here. Ah, well. The balance of power is not being threatened just yet, but we should be careful. And here's the end of the UK. Now the peace deal mechanics have been updated this week. That's why this video is so late. I had to redo this video. But it is now possible to puppet all of these guys. I would do recommend you puppet all of it. If you are going for the Mare Nostrum achievement, and I think I am, just start with taking the coastal provinces that the UK has. So that's this batch here, Cyprus, and don't forget Malta and Gibraltar. And you can see here which ones did you take, all these guys. Submit demands, then press the puppet button and select all, and just do the other ones. Canada, very important. New Zealand, South Africa, the Raj, and finally British Malaya. Confirm and exit, and we have the perfect peace deal. We have captured Sardinia, and we get some balance of power stuff back. Ah, too bad. I forgot about Suprairero. I'll get it against the French. We'll get investments in Edison next. Because the French are guaranteeing the Netherlands, so we will be at war fairly quickly. Get the troops in position. Once again, send everyone back to Germany so we can invade the Netherlands. 24 regular divisions, and they are all going to stand over here. Put them in teams of 2 again and invade the Netherlands like so. Invasions are ready, but my fleet is repairing. I'll just cancel those repairs. I need those ships. We have to go through the channel, but that's alright. Let's declare war on the Netherlands and launch the naval invasion. We should also get our air force back. Where do we leave it? Oh, there, over here. France has been called into the war, which will allow me to go for Luxembourg on the cheap. I really should have taken care of Sardinia here, and I've forgotten about these guys as well. So let's hope Mussolini survives. Palestine, well, we're losing quite a few territories here. But the Dutch are done for. That's the Netherlands already. Take all states, submit demands. Dutch East Indies didn't get a call in. Well, that's just too bad. Here we go against Belgium. And that's Belgium. Select all, submit demands, confirm and exit. And draw a new battle line and go finish off the French. That's Paris. And France has capitulated. Once again, take the coastal states of the Mediterranean. There's quite a few more here because you have the entirety of North Africa. And don't forget about these guys. Submit demands. Yeah, that looks nice enough. And we will go to the puppet screen and select everything else. Submit. Confirm and exit. This is almost the perfect opening strategy for Italy. Some minor beauty errors, but this is very good already. We don't have that much territory to garrison, and we have more than enough guns to do it. However, there is an obvious target here to make any world conquest a foregone matter. You can conquer the United States from the province of Canada. Now, even in 1937, the United States still has a number of divisions that make it somewhat difficult, but honestly, you should be able to do it with these guys. But if you want to do some more guys and you don't really want to spend all this manpower, use the colonial manpower from the British and the French. And we'll go over here and justify a war goal on the Philippines. 115 days to get ready. While that happens, I recommend you stop producing anything in your own country and start building stuff in your puppets. Why is that? Well, in By Blood Around, your puppets are not integrated puppets, but you need to lower their autonomy first, so you can get more manpower and production out of them. Since I'm going to use a lot of puppets, from now on I'm just going to build inside others. You can build military factories, that's slightly faster, or you can build civilian factories so you can build more in the long term. I'm going even more term, I'm going for infrastructure, which builds cheaply, and then for civilian factories. It's also a very good idea to place your spies in Washington, D.C. and try to build a collaboration government here. With this amount of world tension, what almost always happens is that Greece will justify on Albania. So I'm keeping those 12 colonial reserve divisions I have in reserve here, so I can help defend Albania. Justification is ready, so we'll just have to go with what we have here. Stop exercising, you guys. Let's have a look for the setup. I have the main army here on the northeast. You can see the red line here. I have my secondary army of British troops, British colonial troops here on this bulge here. My plan is to cut this bulge off and have my first encirclement. The French troops are covering the entire Midwest to western coast here. They're not going to advance much. They're just going to hold this border and force the US to put troops over here. I have my free motorized. I'll see if I can use them for extra encirclements. These guys are over at Albania, and this reserve army is split up over Alaska and a few loose units on this land connection with the United States and these land connections. And that should be enough. My air force is over here. My submarine fleet will guard my supply route back home. It's a token presence, but it will work. Let's go declare war. And do remember to call in Italian France, Italian Britain, and the province of Canada. And here we are. You can already see the first encirclement. The US has nothing at the moment. Even my rookie British troops can handle this. So let's just continue. With the pocket dissolved, I'm just dividing my armies into two groups into the United States. Still have something to clean up here in New York, but that shouldn't be a problem. Here we can see we're lowering the autonomy of Britain, and that'll immediately give us more factories. This is looking more like it. Collaboration government is done and the USA is collapsing. These French troops that are severely under-equipped are not doing much, but a rogue Canadian troop is just actually doing something there. United States is at 92%, we're almost there. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yes, we are. The United States has capitulated. Now we called in some puppets and allies, so we are probably not able to do this in one go. So we'll just manually puppet them. And we will do the same for the Philippines. Confirm an exit, and we have puppeted the United States and the Philippines, Italian Protectorate of America. It's only June 1938. Any of the real action really has to start, but you're on a prime course to form a Roman Empire, Papal States, whatever you want to do. Now, as I said, this isn't a Roman speedrun, but this is what I think the strongest Italy opening. You can pretty much do the invasions of UK and France and the United States while you are doing a political focus, thereby still rushing whatever you want to do. But this potentially sets you up for all the Italian achievements in one go. Or at least all the new achievements. So let me know what you think in the comments. Also let me know any other suggestions, and see you next time. Bye bye.